Hi, my name is Susan Trammell, and I'm a professor in the Department of Physics and Optical Science at UNC Charlotte. I'm really excited this year. I'm going to be leading my fifth seminar for the Charlotte Teachers Institute. And the one I'm going to be leading this year is called Understanding the Science of Light, a hands-on approach to teaching and learning science. I'm really excited about this opportunity to share one of my loves, which is understanding light and using light in our everyday lives as a tool. And I usually take a hands-on approach in these seminars so that we can do some experiments together and explore the properties of light together. And hopefully some of these will be things that you can also share with your students. I usually think about the seminar, a broad outline, and then I want input from the fellows so that we can shape the content of that seminar over the time we have together so that we can cover the subjects that you're most interested in. But here's what I'm thinking about so far. I want to start the seminar talking a little bit about the basic properties of light, just to make sure we're all on the same page, understanding wavelength and frequency, and then also understanding light both as a particle and a wave and having some interesting discussions about that. Then we can explore some everyday phenomenon, why they work, how they work, why we see the things we do. Maybe something like a rainbow is a good example of an everyday phenomenon that you can explain just using the basic properties of light. And then also understanding the way light interacts with material, in this case with clouds and other particles in the atmosphere. I thought it'd be really fun maybe to also talk about the output of the sun, the light output of the sun, and how that affects us here on Earth. And that could be anything from talking about the use of solar energy, how solar panels work, to talking about things that like the greenhouse effect and climate change, and how the output energy of the sun affects us here on Earth. We could even talk about photosynthesis and the wavelength sensitivity of photosynthesis of plants here on Earth, which is an interesting thing to think about. I'd also like to talk about light as a tool in our everyday life. And this is just a picture here and on my PowerPoint slide showing you about one of the applications that you encounter every day when you go to the store. And that's the scanner at the checkout. This uses a laser. And we can talk about how things like this were developed and how they work and how they make our lives easier. We can also talk about light as a tool in science. And so we could talk about microscopes or telescopes and how we use light to examine objects. And then we could also talk about beyond the visible spectrum. We usually think about light as this phenomenon that we sense with our eyes, but there's a lot of light or electromagnetic radiation that our eyes aren't sensitive to that can play a really important part in our everyday lives. And this, as an example, microwaves are light. And we use microwaves all the time, and just exploring exactly how is it that a microwave can pop popcorn, what's happening there. Underlying a lot of these different phenomena that we might talk about is the interaction of light and material. And that could be used in a number of different other areas throughout science. So we could talk about how light and material interact and result in things that we see or use in our everyday lives. I can envision anyone from a kindergarten teacher teaching color to an AP physics teacher talking about photons and the particle nature of light enjoying this seminar. Art uses color, and we could involve art teachers or fashion design or drama, any of those things. So I would welcome any level of fellow into the seminar and hope to have a great time talking about light with you.